To wrap up the monster phase of a turn, I really want to go over the patrol route system with you. I'm very excited to share this with you, and I think you're going to love what this has to offer and give you a little background on it. And remember, these are our two patrol route dice. This is the footprint one, the standard one, and then we brought back the classic skull patrol route die. Both of them work exactly the same, but there was a lot of requests to bring this one back, and we're very happy that it's back in the game now. So let me tell you a little bit about this patrol route system. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved these kind of games, but I've always wanted a dungeon crawl game, kind of like this, a big open dungeon, but where the monsters have this it's like a living dungeon, where the monsters kind of, in a way, move on their own, so to speak, where, you don't have to move for them. I wanted them to have their own AI. So I created for Groovis Games Unlimited and Dungeon Crusade the exclusive patrol route system. And it works really good, almost too good. What it does is the minions and guardians, remember, they move in the dungeon, and in the chambers, that's where the champion monsters reside, who are most likely safeguarding quest tokens. So the patrol route system works with the minions and the guardians for unpredictable movement patterns. You'll never know where they're going to go next. So let's go into the dungeon and let me show you a quick demo of this. And we're going to be using our friendly skeletal grunt for this demo of the patrol route system. So let's go over a few things first. Here we're looking at monster spawn point 1, okay? Over here is a skull pile node. This connects the different patrol routes. So, the patrol routes will connect either to a skull pile node or another monster spawn point. So notice here, we have this blue patrol route heading up. We have a purple patrol route heading to the right, and this orange and green one heading to the left. So let's just say we spawned in our skeletal grunt. Now, we're not going to get into raiding minions and vagrant minions here because I talk about it in great detail in the How to Play series, but just know that when minions enter the dungeon, they're known as vagrant. This is their home. They're just wandering aimlessly. However, they can turn into a raiding minion under a few circumstances, and they will head out of the dungeon to raid the village, thus raising the terror track up by 1. But for this demo, we're just going to stick to the patrol route system so I can show you this. I'm very excited for you to see this, and I think you're going to love it. So on the skeletal grunt's turn, it's going to roll the D6 and the patrol route die. Let's look at its card quickly. Notice right here that says D6 plus 2. What that is telling us is this skeletal grunt has a base movement of 2 plus the result of a D6. Very simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the patrol route die and the D6 that generates some movement. We would be rolling a raid die, but again, we're not going to touch on that right now, but I did want to point that out to you. So let's generate some movement, and let's see, picture it like this. This is like the skeletal grunt's little brain, and it's spinning around in its head thinking, okay, which way am I going to go? That's really the best way to explain it. So let's see how far the skeletal grunt is going to move and what it's kind of thinking where it's going to go. Okay, we have a result of 2, and it's the purple patrol route. So it is going to move 2 for its base movement, 2 with the D6, 4 on the purple patrol route, which is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can see he's heading for that skull pile right here. See how that works? So let's just say next turn, since it's on the purple patrol route, you wouldn't roll this. You would just roll the D6, generate movement. Okay, so 3. 1, 2 for its base movement, but it also has 3 remaining. Now it's kind of thinking again, where am I going to go next? Roll the patrol route die. Okay, so now it's going to go back purple, so it's going to shuffle back kind of this way, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you can see, depending on what it's thinking with the patrol route die, it could go all over this dungeon. And I assure you, they will go all over this dungeon with all the different minions. It's just a very fun and exciting game mechanic that I think you're really going to enjoy. That's quite simply how it works. And hopefully you're seeing that, yes, while Dungeon Crusade is quite girthy, It's very easy game mechanics like what I just showed you. Okay, let me show you a Guardian and we're gonna wrap this up. And for our final demo here of the patrol route system, we spawned Banevik into the dungeon, and notice he is on one of those skull pile nodes, and we can see those patrol routes coming off of it going in different directions. And I thought it would be fun. We brought out the classic patrol route die for this, and it works just the same way as it did as the other one. It just has skulls instead of monster footprints. So I want to go over a few things first before we get into this. This is Banevik's monster card, level 1. Guardians in Dungeon Crusade can level up just like heroes. They can go to level 4. So on the level 1 cards, you can see this is the origin story I wrote for Banevik. All of the level 1 Guardians will have their origin story, again, to draw you kind of into the whole thematic experience of the land of Avalon and Dungeon Crusade. So I did want to point that out. However, when they get to level 3, level 4, I created special abilities for each time they level up. So you're never, once you see level 2, he's going to have a special ability for that. When he goes to level 3, there's another one, and finally level 4. So you're always going to see the Guardians with new, powerful special abilities. But let's go back here and let's figure out how Banevik moves. So right here, this says that he's a level 1. This is the target priority box here. This is kind of the AI I created for Dungeon Crusade. We'll just touch on this quickly, but each of the heroes has a class rating, class 3, class 2, class 1. So I programmed all the monsters in the game to go after the hero that could do the most damage. And so this is another easy thing to understand, but you'll learn more about it in that How to Play series. But how a Guardian moves is kind of different than a minion. Notice right here, it says 2Q. Let me explain something. The dungeon is comprised of quadrants. Each quadrant is 6 squares by 6 squares. So right here we can see Banevik is in Ogre's Lair East. 6 squares up and down, 6 squares left and right. It's like that. All the dungeon boards in the game have the same kind of layout. So these are known as quadrants. So when we're looking at this, 2Q, that means Banevik is going to move 2 quadrants. Easy, right? Nothing hard about it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to roll the patrol route die. So this is the start of Banevik's turn. We're going to roll the patrol route die. So Banevik, again, this is like spinning around in his head. He's telling us he wants to move to the next quadrant on the green patrol route. We can see it's right here. Now I might have to move you over a little bit to see this. So he's going to come down on the green patrol route, over, and he's going to go over to Ogre's Lair West. And there he is in his new location. But he moved 1 quadrant, correct? We're going to roll this again to see where he's going to go. Green. So he's just going to kind of shuffle back to the Ogre's Lair West. And sometimes when your heroes are like in the vicinity, that's good. You want them to go back. But you can see, since this is a D8, there's 2 skulls on each side, colored skulls. So he could go anywhere in this dungeon, and they do get around this dungeon. So that concludes the demo of the patrol route system, and I hope you enjoyed this. Okay, let's wrap up this video. And this concludes going over the 5 phases that comprise a churn. And I'm sorry this was a little bit long, but I truly love hanging out with you guys, talking Dungeon Crusade, but most importantly, spending time with you and get you acclimated to this. So of course you can feel comfortable about Dungeon Crusade, and hopefully you see, again, I'm going to say it, it's girthy, very, very easy game mechanics from what we just talked about. And hopefully you can see through those different phases, those 5 phases, you're always doing something different, in the game through those 5 phases. So there's like this, there's something always firing in the dungeon to keep you going and keep you entertained and surprising you. Okay, guys, I hope you have a great day. Of course, you have any questions, I love you guys, love talking to you, let me know, and continue to enjoy Dungeon Crusade, and stay tuned. We have a lot of surprises in store for you and a lot to talk about, so there's always something new to explore in the world of Avalon. Okay, guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.